What's up guys, Shane Starnes here with Droid Modder X. The new Nexus devices were just announced yesterday. Pre-releases went live directly after the announcement, and these devices should ship within the next couple of weeks. Now I am just as excited about these devices as you are. I snatched up a Nexus 6P as soon as the pre-releases went live, and I'm excited to get it. Can't wait to have my hands on that device. Now while it was very hard for me to find anything wrong with the Nexus 6P or 5X, I feel like it is my job to bring you all the consumers all the pros and the cons of each device as they are released. These are my 3 problems with the Nexus 6P and 5X. Problem number 1 is the fact that neither of the Nexus devices includes wireless charging. Wireless charging is a feature that has become standardized across many Android flagships, and it just makes charging your device a whole lot simpler, a whole lot easier. All you have to do is lay it on a pad and it begins to charge. Devices like the Note 5 and S6 Edge Plus also have fast wireless charging, which make things even more convenient. In an AMA that I'll link to in the description below, the Nexus team decided to answer the question why they didn't include wireless charging. They said the only reason that wireless charging was brought to earlier versions of the Nexus phone was because USB-B was too hard to plug in, which way was up, which way was down, so they decided to incorporate wireless charging to make charging the phone a whole lot easier. With the incorporation of USB-C, they figure there's no more reason, or it's not necessary any longer, to include wireless charging. They also said that another reason that they're not including wireless charging is to make the device even thinner than it could have been with wireless charging. My second problem with the Nexus devices is the fact that they do not include optical image stabilization. Without optical image stabilization, it is almost impossible to get the perfect picture without blur. So whenever you shake the phone ever so slightly, it causes image blur. Now Google says that Sony 1.55 micron sensor should fix some of that because the pixels are so large that it will take away most of the image blur. Even with that larger sensor, with there being no optical image stabilization, more than likely we're gonna have some instances where we're trying to capture a photo and that photo has a little bit of image blur because we inadvertently moved the camera and it didn't have that image stabilizer to straighten things out. Hopefully that larger sensor will keep us from image blur, but I'm still questioning the fact of whether or not the video will be smooth and stable. Hopefully this is not a feature that we come to miss on the Nexus devices. My third and final problem with the Nexus devices is the fact that there is no expandable storage. Now Google did us a solid by making the base model of the 6P 32 gigabytes, but I think they did a disservice to many of us by making the 5X base model 16 gigabytes. Now both devices have a 4K camera. Just like on the iPhone 6s, if you use that 4K camera, you're only able to capture about 30 minutes on 16 gigabytes. If you're an avid photographer, an avid videographer, it would be nice to be able to expand your storage. I feel like even the average user, which is where the 5X is supposed to hit home, really won't be able to do enough with 16 gigabytes because once the OS is installed and once everything's up and running, you're only really left with about 10 gigabytes of storage, and that's only enough to store, 2 or 3 really large games and maybe a few other apps on top of that. So if you're someone who is really into applications and games, the 16 gigabyte will not even be an option for you. Probably the best thing for you to do would be just to go ahead and upgrade to that Nexus 6P with 32 gigabytes. I really feel like that is a good entry level for a phone that's released in 2015. I'm not sure why Google decided to go with a 16 gigabyte option. And if they were going to do that, it seemed like they would have just went on ahead and given us the option for expandable memory. All in all, I have to say that both the 6P and 5X are really solid devices, and like I said, it was hard for me to find anything incredibly wrong. Most of these problems are really personal preferences. I think that the only really glaring, obvious problem is that optical image stabilization, which Google claims that they fixed with the sensor. But don't think that I'm hating on these devices. I'll have a 5 reasons to buy the Nexus 6P and 5X in the coming days. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. You can find more of me at droidmodderx.com, droidforums.net, and news.highandroid.com. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.